This video will cover how to print from Adobe Photoshop to our Epson P5000 and P5370. After you've opened your image up in Photoshop, you want to start with resizing your image for your paper size. To do this, you will select Image in the upper left corner of your screen and scroll down to Image Size. Here you will adjust your width and height to fit your paper size. Make sure that these are locked together so that when you adjust either your width or height, the other adjusts accordingly to your photograph's ratio. Your resolution should be at 300 ppi to ensure for a sharp and detailed print. Once you've resized your image, you're ready to send your photo to the printer. To print, you locate the File tab in the upper left corner and scroll all the way down to Print. Once the print menu pops up, the first thing you want to do is make sure your layout matches the orientation of your photo. If you have a vertical photo, make sure it's in a vertical layout. If it's in horizontal, change it to horizontal. Next, you'll select Print Settings. On this screen, the first thing you'll do is make sure that your paper size matches the paper you have. It is important to note that if you have sheet paper, you must select US letter sheet or any size that includes sheet in parentheses. This ensures that it will print either in manual or cassette. Just using US letter will result in it defaulting to roll paper. Once you've selected your paper size, you'll want to click on Printer Options and scroll down to Printer Settings. On this page, you will select if you're printing from the paper cassette or manual feed. Next, you'll be selecting your media type. This correlates to the paper you're using to print on. If you're using an Epson photo paper, it should match exactly to the list given here. If you're using a paper that is not Epson brand, you should be able to look up which media type best correlates with that paper. Next, you want to make sure 16-bit output is checked off. Finally, you'll be double checking your output resolution. A lot of this is defaulted and you won't really need to change anything, but ensure that it is set to Super Photo 1440 DPI with Super Microwave and High Speed selected. It's important to note that our P5370 looks a little bit different than the P5000. Under Media Type, it defaults to Use Printer Settings, so you'll need to go in and select your premium luster photo paper. Under Print Quality, instead of listing the 1440 DPI and other resolutions, it goes by quality. This is still all defaulted to the correct specifications, so there's not much you need to do here. It just looks a little different. Once this is all set, you can hit OK and save. Now it's time to adjust the Photoshop printer settings. First, you'll go to Color Handling and select Photoshop Manages Colors. Then you will go to Printer Profile and again select the paper type you are using. For the photo class, you are likely using Epson Luster paper, so you will select Epson Luster 260. Now each media type is for whatever printer you are using, so you may notice that this number will change based on using the P5000 versus the P5370. Next, you'll want to select Send 16-bit data. Now if this is grayed out and not able to be selected, it just means your image is not 16-bit, and that's okay. You also want to confirm black point compensation is checked off. And finally, for your rendering input, you want to choose perceptual. Now do a quick look over, make sure everything is correct, and press print. Once you hit print, the printer application should pop up in your dock in the lower right. Click on it. This will show you your printer queue and any errors that may happen during your print. A common failure we received was called filter failure. If this shows up, all you need to do is cancel the print, save and close your files, and restart the computer. By restarting the computer, it should clear this issue. Some other common issues/non-issues are seeing ink low on the printer. You can ignore this as it's just notifying us we need to replace the ink at some point soon. Now, if the printer is saying it's trying to print roll paper, this likely means you did not select US letter sheet in your paper size. Finally, if there are lines on your print, this often indicates a nozzle clog. Just go to the photography lab in L128 to grab the lab manager or a lab tech to do a nozzle clean.